This segment is the top 5. That's right, the top 5 DOAs. What you said, Anthony? We should call it?
Top 5
Top
dead or
5.
alive.
Top dead or alive. That's just off one
And
LP.
the subject is the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Sports Hit List. This is Carl Coolidge by the fans and for the fans. Thank you for tuning into our show. Today we have Anthony, as always.
He doesn't have a nickname?
No, he's just
Anthony?
Yeah, he's just
You gotta
Anthony.
get him a nickname.
You know, the ladies call me Magic.
He's the Kobe the
Because he's
piss.
poof, gone in the morning.
No,
How you know?
he's Kobe the piss drinker. That's what I call him.
Anyway,
We
it's
got
not the
superstar-
segment for that, so I'm gonna,
Superstar Rod Hustle over here. He took the glasses off.
I
for
gotta
us.
put them back on, man.
Go ahead.
Get the confidence back, you know?
go.
That
And then
confidence
we
back.
have Hollywood J over here.
There you go.
Oh, now this has been debated back and forth on social media with friends, where everybody's sitting around. Who is your top 5 wrestlers of all time? So I'm gonna start it off at number 5.
We're going
Number
backwards.
5.
Number
Okay.
5. For me, number 5 is The Rock. I got The Rock at number 5.
How do
I gotta
you
tell you,
rock
let me
it?
tell you, my man. Let me
tell
first
you,
of all,
Rock is
let me
number 5.
first of all,
Can I
let me
explain?
say why.
Can I
Let me
explain
say
why?
why. Just shake your hand because that's my number 5 too.
Oh, what is happening here, man?
There you go, number 5, and I'm gonna tell you why. Everybody is so sold on The Rock. The Rock saved the. He's the Attitude Era. His promos, his mic skills. I get all that, but to me, he left. You
Right.
can't. You have to take away from that.
Right.
There's a good 7-10 years. The Rock, he left. He's like, you know what? I'm going to do movies, and I can't knock him for that. That's what he wants to do. But he can't be higher than 5 if you left the company and everybody else is still working their bread and butter trying to make it as their living, and you left to go to movies to make a higher living. So I have to take him off of that because of that. You left, and also remember when The Rock first came in, he had to change his character at first because he wasn't.
He was
he-
the nation of
going
domination.
off the top five
Is this
No,
why?
but in terms of if you're looking at superstars and you're assessing everything, you have to assess his superstar, you have to assess his charisma, you have to assess when he came in as Rocky Maivia and
But
he sucked.
actually,
You have to assess.
You have to give
everything.
him more points for being versatile because he did change his character. And
He
that's-
had to change his character though. That's the reason why he had to because the fans weren't appealing to it.
But
Am
he
I right
made
or
it
am I
work.
wrong?
I agree because the fans weren't agreeing with that whole Rocky Maivia. I'm smiling, I'm doing this.
Right, so
They
he
were-
had- that's the reason why he
at
had to
that
change his
time, they were in
character.
a transitional period because you had WCW and then they were doing more
Right.
attitude stuff.
So to me, The Rock, I say is number 5.
If we were doing a top 5 characters of all time, I would put The Rock on that list. But he wasn't a great wrestler.
okay, time out.
He
I gotta
was.
stop
Yes,
you
he
right
was.
there.
No, he was.
I gotta
Yes, he
stop
was.
you right there because I agree with Carl with saying that Rock is number 5 in my book as well. First of all, he had the great promo skills, and think about it. Any match that The Rock had with anybody worked. Rock made all of
I
his
go back and-
opponents
if I went back and
look
looked at
better
his
than what they
career-
were.
If I went back and looked at every match in his career, there's going to be some duds on there. So you can't say that.
Come on, man. Austin Rock rivalry, one of the best rivalries in the world. They had the best
Like I
chemistry.
say, if I were doing top 5 characters, Rock would be on there.
No.
But the fact that he's not a greater wrestler than anyone on my list, I can't put him on there.
Yeah,
So
I
he's
wanna-
not on your list at all.
He's not on my list.
I want to
Okay.
have him as.
I don't.
Okay, so who's your number 5 then?
My number 5 is Chris Jericho.
Because
Right
Jericho?
now, Chris Jericho, wrestler, one of the greatest wrestlers of all
I'm
time.
gonna bite my tongue, but I hear. Let me hear what you got to say.
Because you have him on your list. I know you
Exactly, I do. I do. But yeah.
to me, I don't understand how Chris Jericho makes
Yeah,
the list.
right.
Like,
Chris
that to me-
Jericho, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, one of the best characters of all time. You think about when he first came in, the suit Jericho, the Jericho he is now, entertaining as hell. His match at WrestleMania 19 against Shawn Michaels, one of the
Okay.
greatest matches of all time.
Okay.
Got to put Chris Jericho on my top 5.
I'm like itching to like say
So
something.
5 is Jericho, Rock.
And me. Disclaimer: I stopped watching wrestling around, I would say, 2000.
He does this all the time.
I feel like he's going to say
3,
Giant Gonzalez.
Right?
Come on, get with
So
it.
all these new guys, I totally don't know, and they
You know Chris
definitely
Jericho, though.
wouldn't be top 5. But my number 5 is The Rock.
The Rock.
It was The Rock. It was The Rock. It was The Rock. It was The Rock.
Chris Jericho.
It was The Rock.
Chris, your
Puerto Rican
man.
has to go Jericho.
It was The
The
Rock.
Puerto Rican has
You
to go
lucky I ain't
Jericho.
put
That
Savio
was actually
Vega on
the
my list.
reason. He was actually the reason I stopped watching. Once The Rock left,
See, look, listen.
once The Rock left, I stopped watching.
Stopped
And then
watching.
when he
Thank
was
you.
coming back, it just didn't.
You're like one of those sides,
The Rock-
like, yo, so I was a Cleveland
Rock-
fan, but then I went to Miami.
That's it, yeah.
And now I'm a Cleveland fan.
Yeah.
You're like one of those
Yo,
guys.
the
We
Rock.
ready for number, so for top 5, we have Chris Jericho, The Rock, The Rock, The Rock.
Right.
So
Number 4.
So we're the black guys are winning. Right?
Number 4.
I don't think I have any black guys on my list.
Ready? All ready for number 4? Number 4, ready, is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
My goodness.
Stone
Again,
Cold
if I was doing top 5 characters,
Stone
I
Cold
would
is
put
number
him
4.
on my list. He's not a,
How
he's not a great
did, how
wrestler.
did you get Stone Cold number 4?
Stone Cold, it goes back to the same thing with The Rock. When he first came in, Stone Cold was what? He was the ringmaster. He was with Ted DiBiase. He had to change his character. He was sitting at home and he got a call and he said he was drinking something and his wife passed him a beer and he said, "Oh, it's Stone Cold."
Of course he was drinking a beer.
He said,
Yeah, of course you're gonna
he said,
quote
"Pass
the
me a Stone
documentary."
Cold." No, of course. He said, "Pass me a Stone Cold beer." And then he goes, "I got it." He called Vince up. He goes, "Yeah, I'm going to go Stone Cold." That's when he became Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And let's
so to
not
me,
sugarcoat it. He stole a lot of that gimmick from the Sandman in ECW.
Yeah.
okay, that's fair. That's fine.
Yeah.
But again, Stone Cold, and again, the reason why he's losing points too, Stone Cold took his ball and he went home in 2002. You can't do that. I'm sorry.
So you got a lot of quitters on your
Yeah,
list.
yeah, you can't do that.
But they
Stone
had
Cold's
high
kinda-
heights,
You know what?
though.
The reason
Their
why
heights was high.
you know why he's number 4 because also Stone Cold sold the most pay-per-view buy rates. He stole the most merchandise during the Attitude Era.
What's his title reigns? How many?
I'm not sure. I think he has like six world title reigns or something like that. But
reigns.
again, him leaving in 2002 when fans are needing him. I'm sorry. How can you be number 1 to do that?
He's a prime.
You
I
can't
think
do that.
Austin's a prime example of being at the right place at the right time too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Remember that the ECW, the WCW wars were going back then. The
Nah, but he held his
WWE
own.
needed something big.
No, he
back then.
did. He
was
did.
the perfect
He
character.
stuck with
He
it.
held
Like
his
he knew.
own.
He knew what to do to get over, and he
'Cause that's
he's very charismatic. I mean, I
Because
don't.
Carl's like cheating off of my brain. Pretty much, I diminished him for that also, for like leaving and things. But as far as like holding down the whole era, Stone Cold was the guy. Like that was at least my guy.
Is he your number 4?
Who's your number 4?
Unfortunately.
Stone Cold
You
is
guys
number
got
4.
the same
Okay.
list. You want me to go first?
Okay, now I'm gonna go. My number 4, Edge.
Ooh.
4, Edge is my number 4. Mainly,
Edge?
Yes. Mainly because, well, not just because all the best wrestlers in my book are Canadian, but this man,
Okay.
I can remember every title this man won, and every fashion he done in it. He revolutionized the Money in the Bank ladder match. He made that a thing. Like
That's
know,
because he was the first to win it.
well, yeah, of course.
That's
Being
the only reason
the
why.
first to win it, yeah, that's a big deal, and he did it the best. He always did it the best. Anytime he cashed in that briefcase, he always did it the best, and you always remembered it. And not only that, him going out, like not just aside from him being a great wrestler, not only that, he went out on top. He retired as the world heavyweight champion. Like that, something that a lot of these wrestlers don't have the privilege to do. For him to say that and go out on top with all the title reigns, not just that, winning King of the Ring, winning the Royal Rumble, he's a 12-time world champion. Like he's had one of the best gimmicks, the Rated R Superstar. Good rivalry with John Cena.
He was a tag team.
Intercontinental.
Most
Most tag team, like TLC. Like, come on, can I keep going? Like, what?
He was
Seriously.
one of the staples, but as far as like being on my top 5,
Yeah, top
No,
5. I
maybe
don't
on my
know.
top 10.
He may crack my top 10, but not top.
Nah,
I wouldn't put him in the
I would
top 10.
definitely put him
See, I
on
was
that
conflicted.
pedestal for
Him
sure.
and Brock Lesnar were two people that I was like, should I put them down?
That was your like debate.
Yeah.
So who's your 4?
My number 4, Eddie Guerrero.
Ooh, I can't.
Gotta
be
hold
mad
my
at that.
tongue again. Gotta hold my tongue again, man. Yeah.
You know what? I can't even be mad at that. I
Eddie
can't even
Guerrero, one of
respect
the
it.
greatest wrestlers of all time, one of the greatest characters of all time, some of the most memorable segments that you can ever
Yeah.
remember involved.
Not
Eddie
to
Guerrero.
mention the Edge and Eddie Guerrero match.
Right.
Like that was like magic. That was
His
art.
ladder matches, yeah.
All the matches were
he
art.
had some good matches.
5-star was perfection.
Oh, the best
I
five
think
star in the
the
game.
night he beat Brock, I almost shed a tear for him.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. It was amazing. It was at No Way Out 2003, right? Yeah, no,
hold my
2004. Sorry, 2004.
R.I.P. the Latino
hard,
Heat, man.
Eddie. All right, so we have Eddie 4, Edge, Austin,
Stone
Austin.
Cold.
that was the views from the 6 pick.
Okay.
That was quite emotional.
Okay, number three. My number 3 is the excellence of execution.
my 3.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
I know
Okay, he
somebody's
didn't have the
gonna have
promo
to have
skills,
him
but
on
to
the
me, he is the greatest technical wrestler of all time, and he has to be at 3.
He's
for that.
actually my number 3
Yep.
also. So
Brett is 3. So
yeah,
Brett.
Brett.
I'm actually for me it's Chris Jericho number 3.
Jericho?
Jericho's number 3 for
Yeah,
me.
because he's biased. 'Cause he loves Jericho.
it's just-
He's
yours.
That's
biased.
another.
me,
I see
just-
why you
just-
like
I-
Canadians. That's another views from the 6 trip.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jericho, man, he's just such a great personality. Like one of the most memorable debuts ever. Like,
Oh,
can you remember
God, yeah.
a superstar that's
No.
debuted with that much
No.
impact? Like, he has the best debut in the world.
I don't
like, for me.
remember it. What happened?
He interrupted The Rock.
He interrupted The Rock in
Right.
1999, and
Yeah.
he came out with the cross pose, and no people. It was
He had
talk.
the
It was talk that he
ponytail
was
done
leaving
thing.
WCW at the time, but no one
Yeah.
was really sure because back then there wasn't like really an internet around there at that
Right.
time. So when he came, it was a big deal. One of the biggest ovations. Like it was a like.
And you can't the whole "What is your name?" line.
Right.
Born that.
But he was
Yes,
but when he first
exactly.
came, he was kind of slow to start off. He had Howard Finkel as his
Right, because
assistant.
they
He
didn't
had
know
the
they didn't
whole
they
thing.
didn't know how
really-
they didn't know how to take his character because they look at him as a WCW guy. It's like a lot of these guys backstage, they were
That's
like,
what he was.
"Who is this guy? Like, I'm not gonna let this guy take my spot." Especially your boy Triple H. I mean, he politicked it like hell to keep Jericho down at that time.
Right.
But
He became the.
he became. They noticed that because if it wasn't for The Rock, like speaking up for him, I think Jericho he probably wouldn't be
First
as
undisputed heavyweight
he
champion.
wouldn't be as
He beat
popular.
The Rock
but
and
he-
Austin the same night.
Right, beat the Rock and Roll the same night, which he still coins today. Let you everyone know in case you forgot.
Do you understand the words that are coming out my mouth, you
having
stupid
one of the
idiot?
best feuds with Shawn Michaels, like that's
That match.
that 2008 rivalry and the.
You talking about the first few short or the second
I'm
one?
talking about all of them.
Oh.
Every
So when he
every.
threw him into the Jericho-tron?
I'm
Yeah,
talking about
the
yes. I'm talking about that.
attached retina
I'm
kind
talking
of
about. I'm talking about the feud that killed the rated Attitude Era. That's the feud that killed the ruthless aggression era because
Yeah.
it got
So?
real bloody. And after that, they didn't use blood anymore. Nobody started bleeding anymore. They didn't do it.
Who's
'cause of
your
that feud.
Who's your number 3?
My number 3 is Undertaker.
Ooh, okay. Why?
Cliche.
Why not? It's not a cliche. Like he's been doing it for like what, almost 100 years now.
Okay, but you got to take into consideration that this man, his last couple of years, this man only wrestled one night.
Yeah, but he's also pushing.
But he's like
Again,
50.
he's 100 years old, so
But you got to know when to call it quits. I mean, like,
doesn't have
to
to at
me,
this point, though.
Undertaker was all gimmick to me. His gimmick made him.
But that's
Hold
part of
on.
his.
But wait.
Right.
wrestling.
Like
Wait,
he didn't
hold
start
on.
having great matches, in my
Whoa.
opinion, until like when he fought like Batista.
are you
WrestleMania.
crazy?
Hold on.
Batista?
Yeah.
Batista?
honestly, from Batista and on, aside from like
So
Triple
him
H
and
maybe-
Mick Foley, that fight was just like,
Come on,
yeah,
that
he just
was all Mick
him throwing
Foley.
Mick off of cages and all. That was just child's play. That was nothing.
That was
Okay,
all
wait.
Foley.
I'm gonna
You
hold
know,
on.
That was
all
So
Foley.
to get
Driving
back to
his head
track,
and thumbtacks and stuff. That was just,
That
to get back to track, 3 for you was Brett.
Bret Hart.
I'm Brett.
excellence of
3.
execution. Who
Jericho.
could forget his
Undertaker.
feud?
Undertaker.
Owen Hart. Brett's
Absolutely. Brett's the
perfect technical wrestler.
3.
I
disagree
actually
with you.
struggle with my number 3 with Brett and Jericho. Just to
Yeah.
let you know.
Okay, at number 2, I have The Undertaker, and I totally disagree with you. And here's why.
Why?
I'm going to tell you, and 2 for Undertaker is because...
Take away the lights. Take away the pyro. Take away the.
No,
dog
I'm not taking
gimmick.
away
That
anything.
wasn't
The
him.
first thing you have to understand is this. Taker never left.
His
Taker never,
performance.
Taker never left.
Right.
When WCW was hot and all these guys were leaving to go,
Right.
Taker stayed to steer the
Right.
ship.
Yeah, 'cause he
People
knew-
forget that. But listen, hold on, I'm not done.
Okay,
hold
go
on.
ahead.
Taker stayed. They put him in any single match Vince came to Taker and said, do, he did.
Yeah.
Any job, he never complained about jobbing to anyone.
yeah.
He never complained. He always jobbed to Brock. When Brock was hot in 2003.
even now.
Even
Still.
now, he was jobbing to Brock. All right? So all that time Taker was here, whatever Vince said to do, you could call him his yes man, but he was always a company guy. So
Right.
how can you say, okay, his matches weren't great? He had some great matches.
No, he's had great matches,
he had
but
some
it always,
whole
it
lot of
always
great
depended.
matches.
It always
A whole
depended
lot
on
of-
who he would fight.
That's not
in my,
true.
In my opinion,
That's not true.
Everybody
He
he
fought
fought, especially in his
the first time
prime.
he fought Kane was a terrible match.
No, that wasn't terrible.
The second time he fought Kane in the Inferno match was a terrible match.
No, that wasn't terrible.
Well, his
No,
matches
he
against
fought
Shawn Michaels.
Undertaker.
I was just about to
His
say.
match against
When he
Shawn
fought
Michaels.
Undertaker at SummerSlam was a terrible match.
Y'all totally are
No, but that's
misreading
what
what I'm
you just
saying.
said.
I
You just
said
said that.
from when I said I did make a mistake. I said from when Taker when he fought Batista, that's when he had great matches. I agree with you that when he fought Kane at WrestleMania 14, that was a great match. But I'm just saying, like with Shawn Michaels, Shawn Michaels is one of the greatest competitors in the world. He could have a great match with anybody. So
It's
I don't
true,
think
but
that's all.
Taker.
But Taker, for his
size,
size, though, if you look at how tall he is, look how big he is, his agility to leap over the ring, and
Like
all
his,
that.
like,
come on,
I'm not
man.
knocking his matches with Shawn, not knocking his matches with Angle, not knocking it with Edge, not knocking it with Batista. But I'm just saying, like, he was never consistent for me, just in my book.
I
disagree.
can't see that.
All right.
All he was is a
We
light,
gotta move on, but
flashing
you're
lights.
totally wrong with that one.
Flashing lights.
Who's your number two?
I'm
Who's
sorry.
your number two?
My number 2 is arguably the greatest heel of all time, greatest
Sandman?
character of all time, the limousine riding, jet flying.
I knew he was gonna make it somewhere.
Ric
in this
Flair,
list.
if he's not on your list, you don't know wrestling at
Pretty
all.
much.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Ric
right.
Flair.
that
I don't-
statement.
He's right.
I disagree with
16
that.
That's a
times
fact.
the man.
Tell him one more
disagree.
time.
16 times
You
the man.
wanna do the
Do it
stretch?
again.
Woo!
Hey,
Let
come
him
on.
know.
For a man who was holding down an entire company on his own.
I
'Cause nobody was
respect-
talking
on
about
his-
Ric Flair. I mean, the WCW in a whole. When you thought WCW, you thought Ric Flair.
I respect Flair.
I respect
everything
his.
he's
I
done.
respect it.
Even
but I
when
wouldn't
and then when he went
I
to
respect it, but
WWE,
I
Every
he
league,
still held
TNA,
it down. His match
you
against
name it.
Shawn Michaels. His match against you
retirement
name it.
match?
The retirement match.
The retirement match.
Why would you go back to? Wait, why would you fast forward to that match? Why would you go
Because it
back
was a
to
great
the
match
old,
during his
old-
last match.
Yeah, it was a great match, but why don't you talk about like him versus like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
Oh,
Like,
even
those-
that. Come on, that's
those-
his WCW. I'm talking
Yeah.
about his WWE, his
Yeah.
WWE years.
Because
Right,
this
his
is a
early WWE
WWE.
years weren't that. I mean, he was in and out of WWE like throughout
Yeah.
the 90s.
Yeah,
right?
now.
So they weren't that great. But I'm saying he was for what he did in his with
He
WCW.
was a hell of a.
I give you that one.
He was
Right.
a hell of a performer. I give him that, but I don't give him being one of the best wrestlers. I think that top. Is this the top 2 right now?
This is my
Top
top
two.
two.
I don't. I think 2. I wouldn't give him 2.
You think
How?
about it.
I
You
wouldn't-
hold-
first of
hold
all,
down
you put- first of all,
you
you put-
thought
you put- I'm
WWF, you
surprised.
thought Hulk Hogan, you think WCW, you think Ric Flair. Ric Flair was a better
Wherever
wrestler
Ric Flair
than Hulk
was, when he
Hogan.
was in still WWE, even when he was there from young, he was still doing his thing. He was the
Yeah.
man. He was
Ric
always
Flair,
the
there's
man.
no way
Two
you're
is Flair.
16 times the champion and you're not the greatest.
Two is Flair.
Well,
I
one of the
have
greatest.
Flair, Taker. Who's your 2?
And think of promos. Look at his infamous promos
let-
in WCW.
No, his promos are
War
great.
Horseman,
His
greatest
promos are
faction
great.
of all time.
The chest slap. Come on, like,
That's all he had. The figure 4 that hardly
Who's
nobody
your
ever
two,
tapped
man?
out
And
on.
his selling. His
That's not
selling
true. I've
was
made
great.
20 people tap with the figure
Hustle,
4.
who's your 2, man? Come on. son.
Okay, my number 2. Let me double check here. Eddie Guerrero.
Okay.
Eddie Guerrero's my number 2.
Okay. Who's your 2?
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. All
I
right.
say Eddie because just what that man's been through in his life. Like, first of
went
all,
through.
what he went through. But aside from that, like, he's just one of the best. He just moves so fluently. Like, it's like effortless when he moves in that ring. It's
Yeah.
like like he was born. God put him on this earth to be one of the greatest wrestlers ever, and he showed that. It took him a while because he beat drugs and all that, and I appreciate stories like that because I love underdogs. He's one of the ultimate underdogs of that
Yeah.
of the ruthless aggression era. When he beat Brock Lesnar in 2004, like I'll be honest, I kind of shed a tear, man, because it was one of those
I said that too,
moments,
yeah, it was.
like he did
It really
it,
was.
and then being in the crowd, like there would be that ovation, and just the people. You felt like everybody in that arena
Yeah.
was rooting for him, and
Yeah.
they wanted him to win, and it was just it was
It was a magical
beautiful.
moment. It's one of the top.
It was one of those-
the greatest moments in
Yeah.
wrestling.
Mamacita.
Yeah,
Still don't have him number 2, but yeah.
But,
Wait,
all right.
one of the best frog splashes, amazing.
So
Five
Flair,
yeah,
Flair.
5-star. Yeah.
Flair, Guerrero, Taker, and number 1.
I feel like we're all gonna say the same
Everybody
thing.
should have the same number
Number
1.
1. Is it okay? It's Sean.
I think everybody.
It has to be HBK.
and it's-
Sean.
it's-
Sean.
HBK
is number one.
And here's the
Hands
thing
down.
why I picked Sean, but because I looked back at my list and I thought, man, Kurt Angle wasn't on my list.
Yeah, no,
No.
It's a
what?
really tough list
No.
to put.
Yeah.
But
No.
I had to go with Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
I'm about to say, how you go from Kurt to
No, because
See,
Kurt
he-
should
No,
be on
Kurt,
the
here's
list.
the
no,
reason, and people-
that's a hard
and I-
decision that I could definitely agree.
And you know
with
what? A
you
lot
on.
of people disagree and
Seriously.
they put Austin and Rock over Sean, but
As number one?
Yeah,
Never.
a lot of
Oh,
people.
no.
But for me, Sean, first of all, Sean stayed again.
Yep.
It all goes back to the guy who stayed. Sean's character never changed.
No.
After he left Marty Jannetty, Sean was the Heartbreak Kid,
Yep.
the showstopper, the main event.
Yep.
He's been that since
He
he
kind
started.
of when he turned like born again, he was sort of
Right, but he was
got-
still,
he got-
but he was
still
still Shawn
HBK.
Michaels.
He
Shawn Michaels' theme song never changed.
It wasn't mine.
It
It
did.
was
it-
done.
it- it-
It went through like minor tweaks though.
But it was still-
but it was still the same. Like,
But you
It's
can't
tights.
be like the Heartbreak Kid, but like you're like ultra religious.
No,
Yes, because he went from
It
models
was
to
still good,
nuns. It
though.
was
He
just
made it
a
work.
minor
But
But you
He
change.
just
made
look
it
at
work, yeah.
his ring gear. It's always the heart's broken, and then when he went to DX, he put an X over it. It's still he's still consistent with his character being top. He can go heel, he can go face, and as Ron said, he can make anyone look good in
make
the ring.
anybody look good.
Anyone can look good.
He-
How can you not have Shawn as
He
the
can.
greatest
Shawn
superstar
Michaels
of all
could
time?
wrestle with a mop.
And let's
and
talk
make
about
it
DX,
look
the
like a main
greatest
event.
click ever.
The greatest click ever.
Greatest click.
DX. Four
not better than
Horsemen,
Four
I
Horsemen.
understand. I was maybe I'm just too young, but
Go back and watch the
DX.
documentary.
Nah, I followed them. I know about them. The Dusty Rhodes and all them guys. I know about them guys, but
What about the NWO? What about them?
No, I mean the NW.
they had their time. But DX.
Yeah, to me,
DX.
DX was.
I
I was
kinda-
watching more DX than NWO.
I kind of wish
can't-
I could have saw it
I'm surprised no one has Hogan on their list.
because
because I
Because
mean,
of what?
if you're,
Hogan-
again, greatest characters of all time, I'm putting Hogan on my
yeah,
list.
Hogan, yeah, exactly. But Sean, like you said,
Sean,
like,
absolutely.
First
Sean-
Grand Slam winner.
first Grand Slam,
Fourth
winner.
Triple Crown winner.
Somebody was on Google.
Yes. That's the one thing I remember because, of course, I was there when he first won the first Grand Slam there in my living room watching it and things
I
like
said,
that.
if I was making best characters, Hogan would be on my list, Macho Man would be on my list.
Yeah,
Undertaker would be on my list.
I guess that's how we end the segment. Thank you guys for the
I
top
gotta say,
5.
another guy who almost made my list. Come on, bro. Why'd you edit me out? Why'd you
Yeah.
edit that? Why'd you bleep that out during
Yeah,
the
man.
man?
End of the
Then
show.
why-
That's the end of the show. On that note, we end with we don't mention that name.
Playing
Thanks
with
for
fire.
watching the Sports Hit List. Please continue supporting us all social media: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Take care.
Woo!